Long ago, in the arid expanse of the Thar Desert, there lay a small village named Khimsa, surrounded by endless dunes that shimmered like molten gold under the relentless sun. Life in Khimsa was simple but arduous. The villagers relied on a single oasis that served as the lifeblood of their community. When the rains came, the village thrived, but when the skies withheld their blessings, life became a desperate struggle against hunger and thirst. Amidst this harsh reality, there lived a couple whose bond was as enduring as the desert itself. Rehmat and Zara. Rehmat was a man of quiet strength, his hands roughened by years of toil. His broad shoulders carried not just the weight of his own struggles, but also the hopes of his wife and their community. Zara, on the other hand, was a woman of gentle resilience. Her luminous smile had the power to soften even the hardest days, and her unwavering faith in Rehmat was a source of unending strength for them both. Their lives revolved around their small patch of farmland, where they grew millet and barley. Every morning, before the first light of dawn, Rehmat would walk to the oasis to fetch water while Zara prepared their tools for the day's work. They toiled from sunrise to sunset, their shared laughter often the only thing breaking the vast silence of the desert. Despite their struggles, they found joy in each other, drawing strength from their love. One year, the rains failed to come. The oasis began to dry up, and the villagers faced the specter of famine. The once bustling village turned into a ghostly silence as families packed their belongings and left in search of a better life elsewhere. Rehmat and Zara, however, chose to stay. "This land is our home," Rehmat said firmly. "We were born here, and we will not abandon it." Zara placed her hand gently on his. "As long as we are together, we can endure anything," she replied with a smile that belied her own fears. The days grew harder as the sun blazed mercilessly overhead. They rationed their food and water carefully, often going hungry so they could share what little they had with neighbors who were even worse off. Their selflessness earned them the admiration of the remaining villagers, who saw in them a glimmer of hope amidst the despair. One evening, as the sun sunk beneath the dunes, a weary traveler arrived at their door. He was an old man, his face lined with age and hardship, his robes tattered and dusty. Rehmat welcomed him without hesitation. "Our home is humble, but it is yours for the night," he said. Zara prepared a simple meal of millet bread and buttermilk, offering it to the traveler with a warmth that made the humble food feel like a feast. The old man ate in silence, watching the couple with a keen, thoughtful gaze. After the meal, he spoke. "You are kind people," he said. "But why do you stay in this barren land when you could seek a better life elsewhere?" Rehmat's voice was steady as he replied, "This land is not barren to us. It is where our roots are, where our love has grown. Leaving would mean abandoning not just our home, but our dignity." The old man nodded, his eyes glinting with approval. "I see strength in your hearts," he said. "Tomorrow, I will leave, but before I go, I will leave you with something that may change your fortunes." The next morning, as the first light bathed the dunes in gold, the traveler handed Rehmat an ancient, weathered map. "This map leads to a hidden well, deep in the desert," he said. "It holds enough water to save not just your land, but your entire village. But beware, the journey is treacherous, and only those with unwavering resolve will find it." Rehmat and Zara exchanged a glance. Though they were skeptical, the promise of water, a lifeline for their community, was too compelling to ignore. They decided to undertake the journey together. With their camel loaded with meager supplies, they set off into the vast desert. The sun bore down on them relentlessly during the day, and the cold gnawed at their bones at night. Sandstorms swirled around them, their howling winds threatening to bury them alive. Rehmat shielded Zara with his body, anchoring her with his strength, while she whispered prayers for their survival. On the third day, Zara fell ill. Her strength waned under the brutal conditions, and she collapsed in the sand, her breathing shallow. Rehmat's heart clenched with fear as he knelt beside her. "Zara, stay with me," he pleaded, his voice trembling. Zara opened her eyes, her gaze filled with love despite her pain. "Rehmat," she whispered, "the village depends on us. You cannot stop now." But Rehmat couldn't bear to leave her behind. He set up a makeshift shelter and nursed her through the night, giving her his share of water and tending to her with hands that trembled from exhaustion. As dawn broke, Zara insisted they continue. Her determination rekindled his own, and they pressed on. Finally, after 7 grueling days, they reached the spot marked on the map. The ground beneath their feet was cracked and dry, giving no indication of the treasure it concealed. Rehmat began to dig, his hands blistering as he worked tirelessly. Zara, though weak, knelt beside him, using her remaining strength to help. Hours turned into days. Just when despair began to creep into their hearts, Rehmat's shovel struck something solid. A sound echoed, a promise buried beneath the sand. He dug with renewed vigor until water gushed forth, clear and cool. They stared in disbelief, their tears mingling with the life-giving stream. Zara clung to Rehmat, her voice choked with emotion. "You've done it," she said. "You've saved us." "No," Rehmat replied, pulling her close. "We did it. Together." Their journey back to Khimsa was filled with joy and anticipation. When they returned, the villagers were astounded by their discovery. Rehmat and Zara shared the water freely, refusing to claim ownership of the well. "This is for all of us," Rehmat declared. "No one should suffer when we can help each other." The well revitalized the village. Crops began to grow again, and the people who had once fled returned to rebuild their homes. Khimsa became a thriving community, its resilience a testament to the couple's unwavering courage and love. Years passed, and Rehmat and Zara grew old, their faces lined with the passage of time, but their love as steadfast as ever. Their story became a legend, told around campfires and passed down through generations as a tale of hope, loyalty, and the extraordinary strength of two ordinary people. Even after their passing, their legacy endured. The well was named Rehmat's Oasis, a symbol of their sacrifice and the enduring power of love and determination. And in the hearts of the villagers, Rehmat and Zara remain forever alive, a beacon of light in the vast, unyielding desert.